I think the others will join when they are ready. Where is my pearl? My pearl is forever hiding. Ah, okay. So easy to find because the label is peeling off. You've got to help V to help, and I've been a couple of years. I've used Vermont products. Yeah. Do you and V get together to have, SB party? Because my girl, right, she likes to play with my stuff. She doesn't really use them yet, but she likes to get things ready for me. Like, I'm a surgeon and she puts all the stuff ready next to me. Okay, so we shall just start. Okay, just for those who are new, for those who have just joined us, I'm Carol. I'm one of the reviewers for the Spring Box, and the item that I'm going to review today, right, okay, don't mind the label. I've been touching it so much it's already peeling off. I'll be reviewing the Pearl Serum today. Just for info, I'm Singaporean and I'm 39 years old. The weather here is pretty hot and humid throughout the year. The temperature these days, right, in Celsius, it has always been around 30 to 32. So it's pretty humid, pretty hot. For my skin type, it has always been oily. I have very clogged pores. I think this morning the lighting is better, so you can actually see that there are some bumps on my face, as opposed to when there's not as good the lighting. See, then you will probably see from far that everything looks pretty fine. Yeah, so I'll be reviewing Pearl this morning. Just to start off, this is how Pearl looks like. I'm so scared I will drop because this thing. Okay, I'll just hold it like that. Okay, but Adeline says she is fixing the label, so I believe in the next few batches or so, this would not be a problem. Okay, anyway, this is good, right? Because you can see exactly how the serum looks like. So there's a silver lining. Alright, it makes it so easy for me to find because Pearl has this almost luminous, translucent texture. Can you see? Okay, and it does feel pretty sticky initially. Okay, let's do this. Just put 1 or 2 drops on my hand because I will be doing that anyway later. Okay, just let me get 1 or 2 drops. Hi, Adeline, you are here. So now this is a party of 4. Okay, this is my hand. And just to show you the consistency, this is 1 drop and 2 drops. It can be a little bit sticky at times. Just let me close it. I do not want to spill my pearl. I love it that much. Okay, 2 drops on my hand. You see, it doesn't really flow down quickly. It's slow to move because it has got a very it's not really sticky. It's just in the first unboxing of the Spring Box where I was talking about my impressions of the serum, I actually used the word serum-y for lack of a better word. I still think that is exactly the words used because it doesn't flow like an oil. It's not very liquid like Asian Powerhouse. Good morning, Queen. What it does, it will stay very nicely on your skin as you slowly spread it on your skin. So 2 drops and I have not even spread it all over the back of my hand. So I will continue to spread it. So you see how little you need to use. And I always gush about how little of the products you need on your face. So at the moment, other than Peat, other than Dorian Gray, I believe for most of the products, 2 drops is enough for my huge face. Okay, so can you see that the pearl, I'm rubbing it into my skin. Okay, I'm so sorry, this is not the most fantastic light in the world, but okay. See, it's keeping my hand matte. You can still feel the pearl sitting on your skin and it's feeling perfectly lovely. Again, I'm just trying my best to catch the light because I figured out which is the light that's giving me problem. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, Amy says, one of the nice things about Pearl is how long a bottle can last, and I feel less guilty even I do another full routine in the afternoon. Actually, that's pretty true. This is what I do as well. Because like I say, I perspire, the weather is hot. So what I normally do in the afternoon, but I seldom talk about that because normally we share about AM routines, PM routines. So in the afternoon, for example, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., after my classes, I would probably have sweated off the stuff on my face. Skin will still feel okay actually, but I do not like the sweat being all over my neck, my face. So what I do is I would take beauty water and I would just, use the cotton pad to wipe it off. After that, sorry, I would follow with maple. Then I would put peat if I have it with me at that time. And definitely, I mentioned before, I have one bottle of this at my workplace also because I purchased it quite some time back, sample size, but I did not realize I would fall in love with this, so it has been sitting in my drawer for ages until I got the spring box and I really tested this and I realized, whoa, I love this. So it will be cleansing off, then followed by maple, peat, and definitely pearl. And I used to put donkey cream in the afternoon, but right now because I'm also still testing the spring box, so instead of donkey cream at work, I would put, the serum, the mist serum lotus. Goes a long way. One sprays, the whole face stays matte. So pearl, put one side. Okay, this is already completely sunk in. I waited. I tried it the first time and I don't know why, but I think a lot of things in life, right? If you give it a first chance and you realize that you don't like it, you really do need to give it a second chance. I'm all for second chances now. Actually, I think it's my bad because I tested it on my hand. I did a spot test. So the way it sat on my hand for some time, right? I did not realize what it was doing for my hand. And samples like peat, they will sink right in and you don't feel it anymore. So instantaneously, I love peat. But pearl, I wasn't in love with it then. So it was in my drawer. But I'm so glad that it's in my drawer now because after I put it on my face, it's meant to go on the face anyway. And I realized how good this is at, oil control. My face has been like this. It's shine free now. I put this on at 5:30 a.m. and now it's 8:14 a.m. my time. So 3 hours later, I'm still looking exactly like when I just washed my face and went through the AM routine. So second chances. Yeah, so this one, you see, it has all gone in now, but I can still feel a very silky layer, like a protection on my hand and definitely on my skin. So this is why I kept referring to the Pearl Serum as, this is the beauty armor, because it works exactly like an armor protecting your face so that it's a barrier against all the, the UV rays. I know this is not a sunscreen, but I do feel so protected when I'm wearing this. So all the dust, all the other stuff in the environment, I feel like this is protecting me. Hi Katie, thank you for coming. So why I did my research, why pearl is so good. So let's do this. I love my notes. All our reviewers, we have this thing for lists, and we all have this thing for making lists and doing research online. Maybe it's because of our nature. Okay, so we are all similar in a way. Okay, just to let those who have not seen the ingredients list know, Foon, I digress a lot. No, Foon, I woke up at 5 plus this morning on a Sunday morning is because my girl, she has to report to school by 6:30 a.m. She's going to Malaysia with her school. So they have to set up early to avoid the jam at the customs. I think you would be familiar with that. Yeah, so this whole entire week, it has been 5 a.m. wake up calls for me. Entire week. And I still look like this. This? Thank you, Katie. I don't normally wear this. I went to school, that's why. If you look at my previous reviews, right, it would all be t-shirts, 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 dry fit t-shirts some more, because I get all the t-shirts when I'm in school. Okay, so back to the pearl, right? I'm so naggy. Back to the pearl. Pearl is lovely because it's full of very, very potent antioxidants, and Adeline, she has all the very, very fantastic actives inside her serums. So it also contains amino acids. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because I'm always getting all the scientific names wrong. For her serum, right, she actually uses 3 types of pearl extracts. She has pearl extract, and she also has pearl powder extracts, and there's also hydrolyzed pearl in this serum. So it contains 3 kinds of pearl inside this one tiny little bottle. And from elsewhere on the internet, I went to look up why is pearl in such big demand in Asian skincare. Amino acids. I did my science teacher proud then, because like I said yesterday, I totally suck at literature. Okay, 17 amino acids, and it actually do contain 30 trace minerals. Yeah, and it also has proteins that helps to replenish and rebuild our natural skin collagen. I used to take, those powder form of collagen products. Supposedly they will make your skin plump and look better, but I do feel that those are artificial. It's in powder form. Even if it claims to be natural, it would still be chemically processed. But I have a feeling this surpasses all that, because while I have been taking all the collagen supplements for years, right, ever since I've started using this, I see a difference. Not much difference during the few years I was having the collagen supplement, but I see a difference almost immediately ever since I really started on pearl. And that is like, what, 2 weeks, because I'm going to do I just did my 2nd week routine, so 2 weeks of pearl, and I do see a difference. In Asian skincare, we have been using pearl, so it traces all the way back. There is this Chinese empress. In fact, she's the only empress, the only queen in China history to have sat on the throne before. For those of you who is familiar with Chinese history, right, her name is Wu Zetian. Yeah, and for this empress, she being the queen, of course she has access to all the most fantastic ingredients, resources. So she was the one who started using pearl in her beauty regimen, and she would get, what do you call those people, she would get the doctors, not doctors, I don't know what's the English word they use, but in Chinese we call them daifu. Yeah, so she would get them to procure pearl, and she would get them to ground them up, make them into pearl powder, and she would add the pearl powder into her skincare products, and she would also add the pearl powder into her makeup. Oh, Adeline is a queen. She is the only queen in Chinese history. Not herbalist, not so much a herbalist, more like doctors, because last time when all the makeup, they do use natural products. Maybe I should share. I saw this video online before. There was this girl, actually it's just role playing, but she really went through the whole step of, Imperial Physicians. I think you got it right. Fantastic. I feel like, I'm in good company, because everyone knows exactly what we are all talking about, even though we don't know what we are talking about. Okay, so they would actually put pearl into all their skincare, and even into the food that they eat. Actually, sometimes I wonder, for Chinese people, we do eat everything and anything, and things like bird's nest. I actually have some skincare inside that proclaims that they have added bird's nest into their products. And for those of you who are not familiar with bird's nest, it's actually saliva from a bird. It's just that when they expel the saliva, it hardens and it forms a nest. It supposedly is very high in protein and very rich in collagen. And I wonder, how on earth did the person realize that bird's nest is good, and how on earth do they realize pearl is actually good? I read somewhere that pearl has been used. It's because, how is pearl formed? In an oyster, it's an oyster, I think. It's in an oyster, when they get sand into the body, right? They would ooze something to cover up that piece of sand, that grain of sand, and it protects themselves. So it has a very high healing quality because it is the healing notion that the Chinese picked up on. Okay, Maria double dog dares. Okay, so pearl, like I said, right, since ancient times, okay, queens have been using it inside their skin care. So it's fantastic for brightening. It's very good for evening skin tone. So the more I use the Springboks, the more I ask myself, is it the Dorian Gray? Is it the pearl that is making me get better looking skin these days? It really used to be yellow here, reddish here, because I do have some red patches, but it is slowly getting better. And Amy, your mind is so scary. I really have to use the word scary. What do you not know? It's like whatever we talk about, you have an answer for it. Wow. You are like my goddess. So scary, Amy. Okay, so back to this, brightens and evening the skin tone. And let me go down. So because of all the healing properties, pearl is actually also good for acne. And this is one word that actually went online. I went to YouTube to find out how to pronounce this. Rosacea, I think it's correct. Okay, it's good because why? It's a skin whitener. The healing properties, it actually stops bleeding. It helps to shrink pores, and it will heal scars and wounds, which is why I think the oyster secretes this stuff, and this is it, the pearl. So look up Dr. Stranger. He's a doctor who's also janitor. So all the little weird tidbits and information is surfacing now. Close enough pronunciation. No, when I speak, they say I don't speak like a Chinese person. I speak like a Malay person. I think that's because of all the influence I get in my life. My best friend, she's a Malay, and the teachers I had, they're from Australia, they're from Mongolia, and from Hong Kong. So when I speak my English, it's like a mishmash of, all the cultures and all the people. Hi, Natalie. Hello. So in Singapore, they will call me a very rojak person. A rojak is actually a salad. A fruit salad, a vegetable salad that, where everyone just throws everything in, they mix it all together. V says, listening to me mix her me as a Chinese friends. Oh, that's friends less. Don't let them hear you say that, but I can be your Chinese friend. Okay, so it's good for acne, it heals scars. Just to share, I wasn't aware of this. When I was young, right, especially when I eat spicy food, I tend to have a lot of phlegm. So when I first married my husband, my mother-in-law, she was like, didn't your mother let you take pearl powder when you were younger, when you were a baby? And I'm like, I don't know. I was a baby, right? How would I know? I mean, even if I had taken it, I don't think I would remember. So I went to ask my mother, and my mother said no, because we were quite poor. So she couldn't afford all this stuff. So what happened is when I had my girl, when I had my Denise, right? When she was about a couple of months old, we have all these kind of rituals, ceremonies, like full month birthday ceremony, 1 month birthday bash, that kind of thing. So my mother-in-law, what she did was she went to the traditional Chinese medicine shops and she purchased pearl powder, pure pearl powder. And what she did was she just took a little bit of the pearl powder, she mixed it with warm water, and she actually made my baby girl take that concoction. And surprisingly, I'm not sure if it's an old wives' tale, but strangely, I'm the only one in this family who tends to get a lot of phlegm when I cough, when I take spicy food, when I take sweet stuff. So my girl, not so for her, and my in-laws claim that this is the one that expels all the nasty stuff in her body when she was just a baby, which is why they give pearl powder mixed with warm water to a baby when they're a couple of months old. I'm not so sure if that's really, not just a myth, but apparently that was the case for my girl, and she doesn't have so much phlegm, so I'm assuming it works. Yeah, so that's just some of the Chinese cultures stuff that we do in Singapore, in my home, because we're super traditional. Yeah, so let me see. Okay, it inhibits melanin production. Yeah, So I think that's why it's a fantastic whitener. Why doesn't it help us old women? In that case, shall we all go buy pearl powder and eat them now? And talking about eating pearl powder, right? Yesterday, there was this thread, someone was saying how many drops of peat do you put onto your face, and I was following because I've never realized that a big bottle and a small bottle, right, that the droppers would actually be different in sizes. I've never ever realized it. I've never even thought about this. I thought 2 drops of this is same as 2 drops of this. I think apparently they are different. I should experiment. I have not done that yet. So I saw someone posting that, she has got this huge glass of peat that she wants to drink, and I'm like, if I can drink pearl, I would drink pearl. If I can drink peat, I would not just swim in peat. I would actually just every day, like cod liver oil, yes queen, I would actually want to drink it. And I actually accidentally white chalky stuff, yes. That day when I was doing the stealth mask in school, I accidentally tasted the soy and rice Adeline. And it doesn't taste bad, Of course, I went to gargle immediately. I don't know whether it's not edible, right? Is it edible? I don't know. But it doesn't taste half bad. It's sweet. And I'm like, I remember someone online on the threads, I seriously follow all the threads, someone eating, what was the stuff that she ate? It's not a detox, something else, but soy and rice actually taste good. Okay, this is a bad influence. I shall not be talking about tasting masks online. Okay, so back to the pearl. Oil pulling was more for cleaning teeth. Amy, you're so cute. Okay, back to the pearl. Okay, this is really coming off. Shall I just do this? Okay, I'm going to just peel this off. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in my diary because I'm a sentimental fool. So this is going to go in my diary because, hey, this reminds me that, I love pearl. Okay, see? Now you can actually see how pearl looks like in a bottle. Okay, I know that in this light it actually looks kind of magical, right? It's glistening and it's actually quite glowy. Okay, Adeline, it may actually be edible. I'm not going to eat it. I only accidentally eat it. I'm not recommending that everyone starts eating it. It's going to on your face. It's not meant for your mouth. But let it be known, SP products, they taste good. Maybe that's why Haynes' dogs like to lick her face. It tastes sweet, Soy and rice taste sweet. Correct, Adeline, don't eat it. But I think that's why her dogs love to eat it. Okay, just now I quoted this, but it has already been sitting on my hand for quite some time. So what I'm going to do is I would actually put another 1 drop. Okay, don't waste the good stuff. 1 drop on this hand to show you what I meant when I say I put on the sunscreen and it actually sets the sunscreen. Okay, 1 drop. So I repeat, you see, it doesn't flow down immediately. The consistency is rather thick. Don't keep talking about it or eating the mask is going to be the new trend. Our reviews are forever talking about food and other irrelevant stuffs. But you do make yummy masks and you actually name all the masks after food. Don't you? Sake and rice. And you know what, I just said that, right? Okay, so you see, 1 drop and it can actually cover the entire back of my palm. Hi Dana. But just glad you're dropping in. Food, Adeline. I remember the cookies. I remember so much about the food. I wonder what Madeline is going to talk about next, if not cookies. Okay, this is on my hand now. And yesterday I shared that for my sunscreen. I uses powdered sunscreen sometimes as well when I'm on the run and I don't have my liquid sunscreen with me. So this is a very quick touch up because my sunscreen is only SPF 34. It's not SPF 50. I am quite wary of SPF 50 because it gives me the impression that the higher the SPF, the more chemicals they have in it to make it last longer and be more resistant to the rays. So I tend to go for lower SPFs, but I do have this one. And another reason why I have mixed feelings about my girl not being with me, because sometimes when she's with me, she's such a monster. This is a new puff. So last night she saw me holding this and she immediately started playing with it. And this is a new puff. And this is... she plays with my stuff more than I do. Okay, so this is my hand without pearl, and if I were to just apply, I'm so sorry, I don't think you can see the powder going on. Higher SPF means it's opaque. Oh, okay. But if I were to have one that's completely white in color, does it mean that it's like use SPF 50? Lower SPF? Okay. Which is why I have this one. Okay, I don't think you can see. This is not fluorescent light. This is natural light, but it's not fantastic for this review. But what I see with my naked eye is the powder. There's actually one streak of powder here that I did not manage to spread very well. It looks very powdery on my wrist now. And if I were to just put a finger down, I don't think you can see, but there is a layer of powder on my... Can you see the difference in shade? It's more... Okay, it's more pinkish here and it's more whitish here because of the... Have you ever seen someone with worse parallax error than me? My finger is here and I was trying to point like that. It should be in front. Okay, looking at my finger now. More pinkish here, more whitish here. So the powder literally just sits there on my skin because this portion is very dry. But this portion is actually... This portion is actually covered in pearl. Okay, I will just wait another couple of seconds, maybe up to 1 minute for it to be fully absorbed. Just to let you know, Amy, this is the brand. It's from Japan. The other liquid foundation that I've used, right, is also from this brand. It's quite good, I think, because it doesn't clog my pores, and they claim that it's actually pretty oil-free, chemical-free. I'm not so sure about cruelty-free. I need to go and do research some more. But I'm quite liking this brand as of now because all the stuff, right, is actually preservative-free and it's chemical-free. So I have been using this for like the past half a year. And before this, I was using Biore. I find that for me, Biore, while it keeps my skin pretty okay, it's matte some more, but this one, it actually is pretty good because I can have a choice if I want untinted. I can also have a choice if I want tinted. So on, you know, bad skin days last time, I would actually use tinted skincare because, yeah, I don't think this is in China, but this is from Japan. This is Orbis. Everything is always upside down inverted, but this is Orbis. Okay, so I'm not going to promote this now, but I use this. Okay, so this is, you see, the serum is sitting on my hand. So what I'm going to do now is I would just tap the sunblock. I feel like I'm those YouTube gurus teaching people how to put on makeup, where my makeup skills is so horrible you will run a million miles just to escape from me. I look like a scary clown when I put on makeup. So this is what I do. Okay, I'm very bad at this. I'm right-handed, I'm not left-handed, so this is probably way too much, but I just want to show you how the pearl actually helps to set. This is way too much if you put it on your face. Way too much. I'm overdoing it now, but that's just to show you guys. Okay, let me put this on. Okay, so with my finger, I'm going to do this. And there's nothing on my finger. No, Adeline, you have not seen me with makeup. I don't really believe you will be more scary than me. Alright, and that's a challenge. I really don't think you will be looking more scary than me. I said I'm the queen of heavy-handedness. The eyeliner, I have never mastered eyeliner. It goes on. I don't know. I do not know what is discreet. I do not know what is, you know, delicate hand. It will just go on. So my finger would go down. I'm going to rub, and it still looks even tone. So the pearl actually helps to set the makeup, and everything is not even powdery anymore. So, you know, I'm always speechless when I look at the serum. So it's not even powdery anymore. Right here, I can still feel the powder where there is no pearl, nothing, not even the beauty oil. So this is still very, very powdery, especially since this is a very dry area. So this is the part whereby I'm always blown away when I put on the sunblock, because everything, even the powder, sunscreen gets absorbed. So if this is your foundation, I think it will set fantastically well. So everything is smooth, and if I were to compare the two, same compact, right? I'm so sorry people, under this light, this is powdery, this is scary looking, and this is actually dewy looking, and I don't see the powder at all. So I actually do like it very, very much. I don't know why I even not like Pearl in the first place last time. So for me, my AM routine, right, because I am doing the Springboks, so after my Pearl, so easy to find out because this is naked Pearl. Okay, I think I have a warped brain. First I like Christian Grey, now this is naked Pearl. I'm so sorry guys. Okay, when I put on Pearl, after this, right, because I'm testing the Springboks, I would actually follow with the blush serum, the blush beauty oil. And most normal days, right, I would not be using the compact powder sunscreen. I would actually be using the liquid powder one. So it doesn't make a difference. In fact, blush when it goes onto Pearl, and I would still follow with a moisturizer, which is the After Sun, that I also love, and I reviewed that last week. This will all go on, and amazingly enough, in the tropical heat, it doesn't make my skin, you know, congested. What I have now this morning, right, like I said just now, I double cleanse. So I followed with the maple essence, I did peat followed by Pearl, and then I did 2 drops of blush beauty oil, and then I put After Sun. After that, right, after that I put on the liquid foundation. What am I doing this morning? I swear I'm missing my goal. It's making me all a bit cuckoo. Okay, I put on the liquid sunscreen. So I'm still pretty surprised why by now my skin is not producing oil, like, I don't know, because maybe probably they absorb so well. Okay, and I can compare, you know, right now, because this is a very dry area. Actually, if you can see, the powder, right, is actually sitting in some of the grooves where my skin is all wrinkled up. But for this one, no matter how dry it is, probably because of the Pearl Serum, it's matte, definitely, and it looks dewy. It doesn't look dry at all. So it's like I have a perfect hand cream on my hand. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what have I left out. So to answer your question, right, I don't normally put on makeup, but I would say if you are not a person with super dry skin, I think the Pearl Serum itself is actually good enough to moisturize the skin and keep it hydrated, because definitely my skin doesn't feel dry at all when I've Pearl on my skin. And I do repeat, this is like, you know, an armor for your skin to protect you against the environments. So that is why I keep calling this the beauty armor of Sabbatical Beauty. Okay, do you have any questions for me regarding Pearl? Okay, because let me scroll backwards and see if I've missed anything. Okay. There are days where Pearl is the final moisturizer that you use. So Amy, yes, true, but I used to be a super lazy girl, so woman, not girl anymore. I used to be super lazy, and it would just be a very harsh cleanser because I have oily skin, and I like the squeaky clean feeling that you get when you use a very, very, very harsh cleanser. You know, the kind of feel that you get when it's totally void of oil. I used to love that. I wasn't actually aware that it's harming my skin because all the oil has been stripped off. Your pores work double hard to produce more oil to keep it hydrated. I didn't know that. So with the double cleanse, rose foaming cleanser for me is not too harsh at all. It's perfect because after cleansing it feels soft and I don't feel the tightness, because when I get the squeaky thing it feels tight as if someone is pulling my face like that. But with the double cleanse, no. And on days whereby I overindulge on the rose foaming cleanser because I do love it that much, sometimes when I pour and accidentally I was like, oops, that's a lot, but I can't pour it back in because that's totally not the way to do it. And I would, never mind, just go on, just leave it a bit longer, because I would do it like a facial massage and skin may get a little bit dry, or maybe when I've used some exfoliation mask. Once I have Pearl with me, right, after it goes on, the tightness is gone. So I think this is pretty hydrating as well. Yeah, but I do love playing around with all the different little serums because they do complement each other very well. Okay, so right here, okay, I've been neglecting some of them. This is okay, I've been neglecting some of them because I'm just purely substituting the spring box with a lot of the items. But this right here is my playground. This is my Sabbatical Beauty playground. Yay! Yes, it's playing, because why? This is where I get all my fun. So this is my playground, you know, where we all have our fun and we all feel indulged and pampered. Correct. Yeah. So any more questions? Let me just scroll through one final time. Alright? As with color science as one, parallax error. I think I really do need to go online and research more about sunscreen, I think. Yes. Natalie have a similar container. I purposely buy this because they can stack. This is the small one. I have a bigger one, and this will sit right on top of the bigger one. So I put my serums in this. I have a flat one for all my sample sizes, balms, all my sample sizes, moisturizers like Donkey Cream, After Sun. My brain is all cuckoo this morning. And then there's an even bigger one where I put, you know, the Lily and Gold, the Champagne and Gold. So when I go into my room, I would see all three sitting there. I'm like, happiness. Yeah. Okay, so I don't see any more questions, people. Okay, so I'll probably end for now. I know it has been a long day for a lot of you. It's just the morning. I will have the entire rest of the day to miss my daughter. Yeah, so I'll probably start to, you know, tidy up the house a bit, catch up on my work in school while the monster is not here to bother me. So with that being said, okay, if you have any further questions later on that, you know, pops into your mind, feel free to come back to this thread and just comment, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If not, you can always catch us on replay on YouTube and on the Sabbatical Beauty side, of course. So be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Alright? Thank you for your time, ladies. Bye bye.